Hey, what's up everybody? So we still got the Fox Body project going on here in the shop, and now we're going to go ahead and start the engine assembly process. And all right, so piston ring groove number one, which is our top ring, I'm going to go ahead and get it started in here, and you'll see why I'm doing that here in just a second. Now what I like to do is I like to go ahead and get the piston ring started. If you've noticed, I've already done 3 other pistons. I'll take a piston without any rings on it, and we'll just kind of get it started down in here. Take it down to probably the last oil ring groove on it. That way we know we're pretty close. Then I'll take out a filler gauge. I want to start out with 26 on this, which is what I've been gauging the majority of them. All right, so our top ring is 26 thousandths. And you're going to be like, wow, that seems like an awfully lot for a stock engine. It's not a stock engine. Now we will take our second ring, and it is actually labeled with top, so it only goes in one way. We'll do the same thing. We'll get it started in here. Get it started in the bore. I'll take a piston and we'll go ahead and take it down about the same groove, down maybe just a little farther down to where the skirting's at. That way keep it nice and even, and should be 28 thou on it. All right, so it's a little bit tight, so we're gonna have to open it back up a little bit. There's 28, 28 won't fit, 26 won't fit. So what we gotta do is we gotta pull it out of the bore and take it over here to our little ring grinder and take a little off. All right, so make sure our top's still pointed up. We'll go ahead and get it in here. Uh-oh. Now, should be at 28 thousandths. It is spot on. So now we can pull this out and set it over here with the piston. Now the easiest way I have found to do these rods is I just kind of put my thumb on it and hold the ring in place, take a screwdriver, and then I just push it around and it will click in. Just like so. And then if it doesn't go down in the back groove, you can just take your screwdriver and follow it on down with the rest of it. So that should be pretty well locked in place. I don't think I have it. Okay, so I've already got the cam bearings installed in it. They came like that from the machine shop. I had them pull the main bearings, clean the block, and then reinstall the main bearings, so that way I know exactly what it's going to look like, and I can compare them. That's why I did that. That's just me being picky. Is that necessarily something you need to do? No. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw the cam in this thing, and we're going to go over the cam really quick here so you know what we got. Now, what we're putting in this cam, or in this engine, I'm sorry, is 550, 540. And that's on the intake and lift. Now, it is good. C +3 advance, which is a Windsor cam. And that should be pretty rowdy. Now, this cam likes from about 2,300 RPM up into 6,300 RPM. So that's going to be kind of our little zone where we're making the most power. Now you're kind of wondering, why would you do that with forged pistons and later a forged crank that's going to be going on? That's because, you guessed it, we're going to run nitrous on this bad boy. That's why I have 26 on your top gap. I have 28 on my second gap on my chrome moly rings. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to run these things at potential and see where we can go with it. And honestly, I told you chrome moly, but I'm actually running a ductile, which is a little bit more nitrous friendly piston ring. So let's go ahead and throw the cam in this bad boy. Oh, look at that. Brand new. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get it started in here, and I'm just going to kind of guide it through with my hands where I've got all this stuff open, and it makes it so much easier. That way I don't have to worry about banging stuff as I go and whatnot, because I don't want to run the brand new cam bearings. All right. A little support right here, and it should go right on in. Support there. All right, come on. All right, there it is. In we go. Okay, so I'm getting ready to install the last piston in this engine. Now, I know you guys probably got some questions about what we're using. To go ahead and let you know, in case you weren't watching earlier, we are using a forged piston, chrome moly rod, I-beam construction. You know, actually takes some power. Now, my top ring, I have gapped at 26. My middle ring I've gapped at 28. That's to keep up with the nitrous when we spray it, so that's what we're doing. Yep, you guessed it, we're building a nitrous engine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this assembled and get it in the block, and our rotating assembly is done. Okay, so all these pistons have an arrow right here, which means it's got to be pointing to the front. Like I said, I'm just using the old basic piston ring compressor. Nothing fancy, nothing special. And what I like to do is I like to get it on here and get it started tightening them down. And I'll reach down here underneath the block and push this up past the other rings. Have to loosen it up just a little. I just messed that up. All right, now I'll push that up into the board a little more. Take my little tool here. All right, got that last little click on it. Take my hammer handle and start driving it in. All right, there's the first set of rings. Go on to the second set, and it's in. So now I can reach down underneath here and guide it onto the crank. Roll the engine over. Assembly lube is some nasty stuff. Now what I always try to do is I always try to keep the rod caps the same. All right, now I can go ahead and tighten these down a little bit, and then I'll spin it to where I can get to the rod bolts. All right. Go ahead and take this. All right, that should do to where I can get my torque wrench on here. Now it says 50 pounds for the rod bolts on these particular rods. So I am just following the manufacturer's specifications. So that way we know that we're in good shape. Okay. All right. And our rotating assembly is done. So now we can spin it, we can get it back here and give it a spin. And you can see just how tight of a tolerance we're actually running on this block. That's top dead center on the #1 piston. So, I mean, it literally sits right at the top of the cylinder bore. And that's kind of what we're shooting for. Now, okay, so we have the short block assembly pretty well assembled. Got all the roller lifters in it, our lifter valley, our lifter hold down, all that stuff is in good place. Now it's time for this engine to get some head. All right, so while we're waiting on the machine shop to get done with the heads for our new engine, I went ahead and cut out this, which is our old lower radiator support, and replacing it with our new tubular front radiator support, and I like it. So basically what I did is I just got down here and literally just cut it off right here, you know, below the frame, and that's it. I mean, it just cut it off and welded in, and you're all set and ready to go. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. So if you want to see us get this thing together and how it turns out, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe. Thanks for watching, folks.